All right, let's get into it. If you're about to start a brand new Google Ads campaign, then take note, as the bidding strategy you start with will most probably make or break the whole thing. Get it wrong, and you'll either blow through budget and end up with nothing to show for it, or stare into space wondering why your ads aren't showing at all. Let me show you the best bidding strategy to kick off a new campaign with, explain why it works and when you should change it. When a campaign's fresh out the box, Google's in essence flying blind with no conversion data, no audience signals and no trust. And that's a massive problem. It's having to guess who it should show your ads to. Now, don't get me wrong, it's cleverer than simply guessing, but it's not far off. And without data, they'll either show your ads to the wrong people or they'll hardly show them at all. Smart bidding campaigns like Performance Max and Demand Gen rely heavily on data. They need to know what a converter looks like before they can go and find more. And that's why I don't use a smart bidding or smart campaign right from the start. At this stage, I think that you need to keep as much control as possible and feed Google with as much correct data first. So, how exactly do I do that then? Well, there's probably a lot of different ways people will recommend, but here's the way I do it. I'll always start with a maximize click strategy, and I'll also set a manual cost per click cap. So what this does is say to Google, send me as much traffic as you can from a budget, but keep the cost under control. And the reason I start like this is because at the beginning, you're in a learning phase. So you want to see which keywords are triggering your ads, what keywords are getting clicks, and whether your landing pages are actually converting. Yes, smart campaigns can do this too, but with smart campaigns, you've got no control over them and you could potentially burn through your budget very quickly. But by utilizing a max click strategy, you're going to get the most clicks for your budget, which gives you more data to play with going forward. By limiting the cost per click as well, you're controlling this even further, and the more data you've got, the more informed decisions you can make later on. It's up to you what you set your maximum cost per click to, but try and be as sensible as possible. Have a look at the keyword tool to see roughly what Google would be charging for keywords and go somewhere in between, because you can always increase them if the conversions aren't coming. Once you've got that, all you've got to do then is keep an eye on what search terms are resulting in clicks and conversions and just start getting rid of the useless ones by adding them as negative keywords. Do it on a daily basis so it doesn't become a ridiculously long task, and over time you'll refine your campaign and start building up some really useful data for Google. Use this for new search campaigns, lead gen campaigns, and early e-com testing. Just remember, when setting the bidding strategies to maximize clicks, don't leave the cost per click uncapped, because Google will happily bid high if you don't put limits in place. Once you get in around 15 to 30 conversions in a 30-day period, that's when you can start thinking about switching your bidding strategy. Google's really good at finding customers once it has the data. So before you change anything, make sure your data isn't fluky data. And by that, I mean, don't change after one solid month of conversions. I tend to leave campaigns as long as possible, usually between 3 and 4 months. This way, I can be sure that I'm doing the right thing. But what are my options for switching? Well, there's a few options to choose from, so let's take a look. The first one to consider is maximize conversions. This one's great for lead gen campaigns or low ticket items where volume's key and the value for each conversion is similar or the same. Whereas if you've got a mix of low and high ticket products with different values and you want Google to prioritize the higher value ones, then go for a maximize conversion value instead. What Google does here is goes after the conversions that will result in higher value conversions rather than treating all products equally. Now, you could also set a target ROAS, but I'd say to only move to a target ROAS once you've got consistent revenue and enough conversion data behind you to make that confidently. If you're running Google Ads in the home and garden space and you're not getting the results that you want, then let me take a proper look. Head on over to www.rocketreachppc.com and request a free audit today. No nonsense, no pressure, and I'll personally go through your account and give you a straight talking, video roadmap showing exactly what needs fixing. If you want me to do it for you after that, then let's get started. If not, no worries. Either way, you'll walk away with some really useful advice. So go to www.rocketreachppc.com now. Before wrapping up, let's cover a few common mistakes that I see people making around bidding strategies that will just help you a little bit more along the way. Number one, avoid using a target cost per acquisition too early, just for the same reasons as everything we've just covered in the video. They won't work effectively without historical data. Number two, make sure your tracking's working properly. It sounds obvious, but you'll be surprised how often that I see this. And if your tracking's off, it doesn't matter what bidding strategy you're using, smart or manual, neither will be able to get it right. And number three, I know I've said it before, but it's massively important not to forget your cost per click cap, as suddenly you'll be paying £15 a click for traffic that's never going to convert. Get a good base and Google will look after you. Start simple and focus on learning. Let the data build, and once conversions are coming in consistently, shift to a smarter bidding strategy. Remember, you're not trying to be clever, you're trying to be profitable. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, feel free to give it a like, and if you're feeling extra generous, please subscribe, it really does help. That's it from me, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.